In 2010, two Stanford graduates spent a full year building an app almost nobody wanted. It had check-ins, points, and plans, and after 12 months of work, exactly 100 people were using it. That failed app would become Instagram, a company now worth more money than most countries make in a year. And the decision that saved it wasn't adding something new. It was deleting almost everything they had built. It started in late 2009. Kevin Systrom was a Stanford graduate. He had spent 2 years at Google working on products like Gmail, then moved to a small travel startup. At night on his own time, he started tinkering with an idea. He called it Burbn, named after his love of bourbon. Burbn was a check-in app. Open it, and you could tell your friends exactly where you were. You could earn points for going out, make plans with people nearby, and post photos of the night. Foursquare had already made check-in apps popular across Silicon Valley. Investors were hungry to fund the next one. In March 2010, Systrom pitched his prototype to venture capitalists at a party. He walked away with $500,000 in seed funding, the first real money a startup usually gets, from Baseline Ventures and Andreessen Horowitz. 2 months later, he brought on a co-founder, Mike Krieger, a Stanford-trained engineer originally from Brazil. He'd studied symbolic systems, Stanford's blend of computer science and linguistics. For a full year, the two of them kept building. They shipped an entire native iPhone version of Burbn, packed with every feature they could think of. But something wasn't working. Check-in apps were now a crowded field. Foursquare alone had raised tens of millions of dollars. It had more than a year's head start. Smaller rivals like Gowalla were fighting for the same shrinking pool of users. Burbn had none of those advantages, and despite 12 months of work, the app had reached exactly 100 active users. Their seed money was running out. They were living on little more than peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, waiting for traction that never came. Even the founders found their own product difficult to use. No office, just 2 laptops and $500,000 in the bank. Adding more features meant competing head-on with bigger, better-funded rivals. It meant burning through the rest of their cash with nothing to show for it. So instead, they looked at what people were actually doing inside Burbn, not what the founders had planned for it. One number stood out. Photos, comments, and likes outnumbered check-ins by a wide margin. The data was telling them something neither founder wanted to hear. The app they'd spent a year building was mostly wrong. Only one small piece of it was right. And then, they made one decision. Cut everything. Check-ins, points, plans, gone. Keep only the photos. A year of work, thrown away, rebuilt from almost nothing in 8 weeks. They renamed the app Instagram. It's a mashup of 2 words, instant camera and telegram. They stripped the product down to almost nothing. Post a photo, add a comment, tap like. That was it. Before showing it to the world, they quietly handed early versions to a small circle of friends to test. Problems got caught while almost no one was watching. They even locked every photo into a square frame. It was a deliberate nod to old Kodak Instamatic and Polaroid prints, at a time when every other camera app was fighting over widescreen. The iPhone 4 had launched just months earlier, with Apple's best camera yet, but bare photos from 2010-era phone cameras still looked flat and unimpressive. Early testers weren't sold. The fix came almost by accident. Systrom showed the app to his wife. She said she didn't want to share her photos. They didn't look as good as everyone else's. His answer was a filter. Within a day, he'd built the app's first one, a warm, faded look, later known as X Pro 2. Suddenly, ordinary phone photos looked like something worth sharing. They also built in one-tap sharing to Twitter and Facebook. Every photo posted on Instagram could now show up on networks that already had millions of users. Every single post became a small advertisement for the app itself. Instagram launched on October 6, 2010, for iPhone only, after roughly 8 weeks of rebuilding. Within 24 hours, 25,000 people had signed up. Within a week, that number passed 100,000. By December 12th, just 10 weeks after launch, Instagram crossed 1 million users. It took Facebook more than 2 years to hit its first million users. Instagram did it in 10 weeks. Just 2 people, no marketing budget, growth never slowed. Instagram added hashtags in January 2011 to help people find each other's photos. The next month, it raised $7 million in what's called a Series A round, the funding a startup raises once it's proven people actually want the product. Investors valued the young company at around $25 million. That number would look almost quaint a year later. By June 2011, Instagram had 5 million monthly active users, people who opened the app at least once that month. By September, that number had doubled to 10 million. Then, in April 2012, Instagram launched on Android. It picked up over 1 million downloads in under 24 hours. Within 10 days, its user base jumped from 30 million to 40 million people. That kind of growth made Instagram one of the most valuable startups in Silicon Valley. Everyone wanted a piece of it. Weeks earlier, Twitter co-founder Jack Dorsey had quietly made an offer. Dorsey was an early Instagram investor and a mentor to Systrom since their earliest days in the industry. He offered around $500 million in Twitter stock to buy the company outright. Systrom turned him down. Instead, he raised $50 million in new funding, valuing Instagram at $500 million. But Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg was not willing to lose this one. Over Easter weekend in April 2012, he invited Systrom to his house. In a matter of days, the two of them worked out a deal from scratch. On April 9, 2012, Facebook announced it was acquiring Instagram for approximately $1 billion in cash and stock. The company still had exactly 13 employees. The deal closed 5 months later, in September 2012. It wasn't actually worth a full $1 billion. Facebook's stock had dropped sharply after a rocky debut on the public market that spring. By the time the paperwork was signed, the same package of cash and shares had shrunk to roughly $715 million. Kevin Systrom himself walked away with somewhere around $400 million of that. It was an extraordinary payout for a product that had been unusable just 2 years earlier. Even at the lower number, it remains one of the best trades in the history of technology. It was Facebook's 40th acquisition and still one of its 3 largest ever. The deal is still studied today for how it shaped the way investors think about young companies that grow at enormous speed. Under Facebook's ownership, Instagram passed 100 million users within 10 months. It crossed 1 billion users by 2018. Today, Instagram serves more than 2 billion people every single month. Industry analysts estimate the app alone now generates close to half of Meta's entire United States advertising business. A product that once had 100 users is now worth many times what Facebook paid for it. It was built by a 2-person team with $500,000, all because 2 founders were willing to delete almost everything they had built and bet everything on the one feature people actually loved. So what can you learn from this? First, do not fall in love with everything you have built. Systrom and Krieger spent a year on Burbn. The hardest, smartest thing they ever did was admit that most of it did not work. Second, watch what people actually do, not what they say, not what you originally planned. The photo feature was not the plan. It was the pattern hiding inside their own data, waiting to be noticed. Third, sometimes the biggest breakthrough is not adding another feature. It's having the discipline to cut everything down to the one thing that truly works, even if that means throwing away a year of your own work to get there. What would you have done if you were in their position? Drop your take in the comments. I read every one. This channel exists to find stories exactly like this one. Single decisions, hiding inside ordinary companies that quietly changed everything. Most people scroll straight past them without ever noticing. If you want more breakdowns like this, hit subscribe. New videos every week breaking down the strategies that built billion-dollar empires. You'll see the pivots, the pricing tricks, and the contrarian bets that most business content never even mentions. Every video broken down the same way. Real numbers, no fluff. Just the one decision that mattered, and exactly what you can take from it into your own work. Instagram did not win by building more. It won by having the courage to build almost nothing at all. That is the kind of decision this channel exists to break down. And if there's a company or strategy you want me to break down next, tell me in the comments. I pick future topics from your suggestions.